It's Wednesday, January 7th.
The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland? What is the basis of their territorial claim?
The White House doubling down on its desire to take over Greenland. This as Denmark looks to shore up support from its allies. A demand for Venezuela's oil, with U.S. President Donald Trump saying up to 50 million barrels will soon be turned over to the United States. And welcome to the Ice Castle. We'll tell you how this apartment in Quebec became covered in ice.
I will work hard every day and do my best for the team.
Spring training just 45 days away, and the Jays will be heading into the season with another big bat in the lineup. Stay with us, Canada. Your morning starts right now. Good morning, Canada. Welcome to Your Morning. I'm Anne-Marie Mediwake.
Good morning. I'm Lindsey Deluce.
I'm Kelsey McEwen. Happy Wednesday.
45 days away.
I know.
45?
45. That's wild. Do you guys know how much money the Jays have handed out in contracts
so far,
in the off-season?
$1 billion.
Well, stay tuned. I've got that number for you coming up. First, though, let's talk about, well, the U.S. not backing off threats to take over Greenland as Canada and other allies push back.
The future of Greenland and Denmark are decided solely by the people of Denmark. In Greenland, we know that.
Speaking with the Danish Prime Minister yesterday, Prime Minister Carney said Canada will always support Denmark's sovereignty. This includes the autonomous island of Greenland. In another show of support, Canada will open a consulate in Greenland next month. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand and Governor General Mary Simon are expected to be there for that opening.
Nobody's going to fight the United States militarily over the future of Greenland.
A statement from the White House says this, quote, "The president and his team are discussing a range of options, adding utilizing the U.S. military is always an option," end quote. Denmark is warning a U.S. attack on Greenland will mean the end of NATO. The leaders of France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, and the U.K. have released a joint letter repeating their support for Greenland. U.S. President Donald Trump first floated the idea of acquiring Greenland back in 2019. Well, Canada has co-signed a pact to offer support for Ukraine if a peace deal is made with Russia.
Following a ceasefire, the UK and France will establish military hubs across Ukraine and build protected facilities for weapons and military equipment to support Ukraine's defensive needs.
The coalition of the willing agreed to help secure Ukraine from further Russian invasion if a viable peace deal is in place. The proposed security agreement would see a multinational force sent to aid Ukraine after a ceasefire takes hold, but it remains unclear whether Canadian troops would be deployed. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff says the U.S. is also committed to playing its part to secure peace for Ukraine, but nothing can be put into place until there is a ceasefire. Well, U.S. President Donald Trump says millions of barrels of oil from Venezuela will soon be turned over to the U.S. Donald Trump wrote on social media that the oil will be sold at market value and the money, quote, will be controlled by me as President of the United States of America to ensure it is used to benefit the people of Venezuela and the United States. Donald Trump's comments come after he said the U.S. oil industry would be up and running in Venezuela within 18 months and that he expected huge investments to pour into the country. This also comes a day after Venezuela's Vice President, Delcy Rodriguez, was sworn in as interim president, with Nicolas Maduro being held in the U.S., set to face drug trafficking and weapons charges. Well, in other news today, a young boy has died after being attacked by 3 dogs over the weekend in Nova Scotia. Obviously, shock and sadness in this small town in Nova Scotia. The details: this happened in Shelburne County on Saturday. The 13-year-old boy was riding his bike when police say he was attacked by 3 large dogs. The boy was rushed to hospital in Halifax. Officials say he has since died of his injuries. An investigation into what happened is now underway. The dogs involved in the attack have been euthanized. A zipline course at a trampoline park in Toronto has now been shut down after an 11-year-old boy fell several meters onto a concrete floor.
I feel horrible inside because it's like I feel kind of responsible because I know of all these safety features and that none of them are in play, but yet I can't get through to anybody until there's an actual accident.
Denver Nuttall has worked as a rock climbing instructor and guide for treetop trekking. He says he questioned staff about safety weeks before this incident happened, after he visited the Toronto trampoline park with his son. 11-year-old Raman Azizi fell over the weekend. He is now recovering from internal bruising. The Technical Standards and Safety Authority told CTV News that it determined the zipline at Aerosports Trampoline Park was under its jurisdiction, but that it was not aware the facility even had a zipline. The regulator has now taken that zipline out of service. So this apartment in Quebec has been nicknamed the Ice Castle. Why? Well, it looks like this. This is the apartment. Look at this, in Trois-Rivières. How did this happen, you wonder? Let me tell you. A tenant turned the heat off, left the property. The owner of the building assumed they were trying to cut costs while being out of their home. But obviously it was really cold. The frigid temperatures caused the pipes to burst, water poured into the apartment, and then froze. The ice is actually about 30 centimeters thick on the kitchen floor, so think a ruler. The tenant has not been paying rent for more than 6 months. He was officially evicted on Monday. The owner of the building says they are going to have to obviously strip, dry, rebuild, whatever's covered by insurance. A class action lawsuit against Ticketmaster in Quebec can go ahead. Quebec's Superior Court has approved the lawsuit, which accuses Ticketmaster of charging abusive service fees. The lawsuit argues these fees are a violation of Quebec's Consumer Protection Act and Civil Code, and that is because the fees are based on ticket prices, not on the cost of the service being provided. If the lawsuit is successful, Ticketmaster may have to pay out to affected customers. So the Jays have introduced their latest free agent signing.
Hello everyone, my name is Kazuma Okamoto. I am very happy to join Blue Jays.
Kazuma Okamoto was one of the top sluggers in Japan. He is now signed with the Jays on a 4-year, $60 million U.S. deal. The Jays have been on a shopping spree this offseason. So I asked you off the top of the show, how much have they spent? They've handed out more than $330 million in contracts. Nice. GM Ross Atkins isn't closing the door to more signings either, including potentially bringing back Bo Bichette. But he says adding more players obviously will make it very difficult for everyone to fit in the lineup. So we'll see what happens. Sometimes when the elevator isn't working, you need to get creative.
Ready, set, go.
Oh my gosh. What? This is real. This guy skipped the stairs, instead found his own way safely to the ground. Base jumper. Base jumping is just next level for me. Danny Roman cleared 139 floors at the world's tallest building in Dubai. He didn't pull his chute until he dropped about 100 floors. Oof. This is obviously a Red Bull thing.
Yeah.
Obviously. With the caption, casually jumping off the tallest building in the world.